What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 11 of the Milwaukee Brewers Out of the Park Baseball 25 series. We're here September 15th, 2028. The Milwaukee Brewers are 84-62, half a game back of first place in the NL Central Division, right behind the Cardinals, who've been a pretty consistent team throughout the save, from what I can kind of remember. Ever since actually, no, they've been good pretty much. They've been solid every year at least, but have had a couple of really nice years. They've always been a tough team for us. They, of course, have Jordan Walker. Ivan Melendez has been a better player than this, it seems, but he's been bad. Mason Wynn's a stud. Totally would love to get him on the squad. He's going to be a free agent in a few years, so maybe that's possible. Nolan Arenado is still kicking. He's been a really good player. A lot of times he doesn't age gracefully in this series or in this game, but he wound up signing a nice little extension. He's lived up to that so far, at least it seems. So we're here. It's been about a week since I recorded, so I'm gonna have to catch myself up, kind of what's going on. But so far so good. I mean, I think we've been playing pretty well. August wasn't great, 14-14 so far in September though, 8-5, much better. Keeping pace. We had a really nice run right here, surrounded by, a series loss here against Philly, series loss against Kansas City, but we wound up sweeping the Reds and taking 3 of 4 against the Braves. So that's really good. As for, standout performances this season, it's been Juan Soto. He's been killing it all year. He actually has 26 steals and an 81% clip. I didn't think that he had that in him. I'll be completely honest, but that's a new dimension to his game we have yet to see with him in a Brewers uniform. But, if you're stealing, my cutoff for success that I want to see is 80%. He's stealing at 81%, 26 steals. I mean, geez, with 25 speed, that's pretty damn good. We've kind of forced our manager to start stealing guys a little bit more. And I think we are third in stolen bases. So that's actually played out. Soto's second on the team in steals. Jackson Chourio having a great year. Unfortunately, he's been dealing with some injuries all season, but he's been mostly healthy and playing really, really well. On pace for 4 WAR in just 103 games. Stealing 28 bases on a 93% clip. That's excellent, obviously. Matthew Wood is our backup catcher. He's been an elite player, by most regards. I mean, there's really nothing he hasn't done this year. He's played good defense, or at least solid enough defense. He's actually wound up DHing quite a bit, just because, we don't really have a ton of options at that position. But he's DHing against righties at the moment. He's been excellent. Has he been he has some good splits, although he's been good against righties or against lefties too. So, not necessarily a platoon guy, but he's a guy I wanted to hold on to as kind of Quero insurance in case things go, he outprices us at some point. So, Wood's been really good. Royce Lewis has been excellent since we picked him up. 153 WRC plus. The walks still not anything great. The strikeouts, still 20%, but he's hit 14 home runs in just 47 games, which is obviously a great number. On pace for 71 extra base hits this year. He's been a huge pickup, and for what we got him for, I don't believe it was a ton. Jaden Melendez is a good player, and he's played quite well for Minnesota. Guarte, he's hurt. That was kind of the thing with him. He's an injury-prone guy. We've given him some run, and he's actually been quite good with Minnesota. I assumed he would be pretty good. Alfredo Morales, he's in rookie ball for them. Of course, Noelvi Marte is playing great for them. That's fine. He's not a great defensive second baseman, and we got Lewis to basically replace him. A couple other guys who aren't doing too much for them thus far. So, Lewis has been a really good pickup. Brock Wilk continues to play really, really well. Back-to-back excellent seasons for him at first base. He's a good defensive first baseman as well. So that really helps his value. Eduardo Garcia, did I go over him last episode and how good he was? Or is this new. I think, this is new. So, when we called him up in August, the dude went on an absolute tear, like insanity. We called him up here. And then he had 3 home runs in 3 games right here. Didn't hit a home run, hit another home run, and had a 3 home run game. So like in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess you can count this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games he hit. Is that 7 home runs? And obviously has cooled off since. And he's really cooled off since. But still, like, this is what you hope for with a guy like this. Like, you hope you catch a flash in the pan where he kind of puts the team on his back for a few weeks. And then, if he falls off, he falls off. But I mean, just look at the strikeout to walk stuff. Holy crap. Like, obviously not sustainable. But I think he has a little bit more walking, like, base on balls, upside, eye potential stuff. But we'll take the flash in the pan. Absolutely. It's like, Matt Carpenter for 2 months played like Barry Bonds in his prime for the Yankees. He got hurt, but like he carried them for a couple months. So, we got a couple good weeks out of Eduardo Garcia is what I'm saying. And we're happy with that if that's all he gives us. Jefferson Quero, his best season of his career. He's been great. Defensively, offensively. The defense still hasn't like come along where he's like a crazy defender at this point, but he's still really good and a great hitter at his position. Garrett Mitchell has definitely turned things around. He got off to a rocky start. Maybe he didn't. See, now I'm like, he wasn't that good in March and April. And then since then, he's returned to his form. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Wants some good money. We're probably not going to bring him back at that price. I think we have some guys that we can fill into his spot. Luis Lara being one of them. Thought we had some other dudes. Maybe not. Maybe I was just imagining that. Again, it's been about a week since I last played this. Oh, Eduardo Quintero. A guy I want to get in there for some at-bats. We're happy with what we got out of him this season as a part-time player, but the more valuable side of the platoon, obviously. And Christian Yelich has had a nice little season. He's had to play a little bit more than I expected. He's obviously not a defensive player anymore. He's just a DH. He's played a little bit in the field, but not much. But he's been a league average hitter. He's in the last year of this deal. We obviously won't be bringing him back next year, but he's fallen gracefully, or regressed gracefully enough. He had 2 good seasons at the beginning, and then has been about a replacement level player. It's not obviously worth $26 million, but we get what we can out of him, and he did okay. Carlos Correa, decent enough year. The bat's about where he was last year. The glove about where he was last year. Really, really good defensive shortstop. And he's played pretty much the whole year. I think he missed maybe a little bit of time. He missed like 2 to 3 weeks. So, if that's all he misses this year and plays 140 games, that's excellent. As long as he's here for the playoffs, he's a valuable player. Luis Lara, man, we finally give him some real playing time this season, and he's come through in a big way. The 93 WRC plus didn't seem too impressive, but when you're talking about a 5th outfielder, essentially, playing really good defense in center field, giving you like close to a league average bat, that's super valuable. I think he can get even better. Maybe taking over in one of the corner outfields or maybe center field next year, depending on what we do with Cheerio in his position. Isaac Pacheco, not quite the performance I expected out of him this year. Last year was brutal for him when we brought him in. We traded with him, with Detroit. He was kind of like a quad A guy for them. He couldn't quite crack their major league roster. Spent a lot of last year in the minors. I think he was hurt, maybe. I don't even know what happened to him last year, but he's been up with the team for most of the year, and he hasn't been very good, but still think he can be an okay platoon guy. Roderick Arias has definitely fallen off since a hot start, down to a 80 WRC plus, much more of what I expected out of him. again, we caught lightning in a bottle for a few months where he was a really, really good player and really valuable. Now he's just a good replacement level infielder. He's not really playing every day anymore, so Garcia's kind of taken over that role for the time being. Pacheco's still mixing in a bit, and Arias backing up the middle infield. Then Johan Rojas just kind of on this team still. We needed another outfielder. He was playing okay in AAA, so called him up. He's kind of just a glove speed guy at this point. I'm not really proving much with the bat. And then the pitching. A kind of a different story here. So Gavin Stone's been really good this year. Not quite as good as it was last year, but still a really nice year as our number one starter. George Kirby, man, like, kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt last year. Thought he could bounce back. This year, it's been, the peripherals look really good. He's gotten the walks down to below where he's been throughout his career. But the results just haven't been there. They're hitting him hard still. The 325 BABIP is much higher than it's been in his career. Still on pace for 4 WAR, and he hasn't been like the worst pitcher in the world or anything, but just expected a little bit more out of him. And he wants a huge contract. Like, we just can't stomach that at this point. So he'll probably go. Garrett Crochet's been a bust. There's really no way around it. He's not been good, like, in any start, really. He's kind of gotten beat up. When did we get him? Maybe like around here. Yeah, you can see like he had 1 5-inning, 1-run start. Like, sweet. I guess he was okay for a couple of these starts. I don't even know if those were with us. He had 9 starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. So his first 2 starts were good. And then he had 1 good one in here. I guess it was okay, 5 innings. And then the rest of them, he just kind of got beat up. So this has been a pretty bust of a trade so far. We still have a little bit of season left for him to turn it around. But, I mean, the walks are just out of control. 7.4 per 9. And then the strikeouts are way down as well. So, we're going to stick with him in the rotation. But, yeah, it's not been good. Not been good. Tanner Bybee's been quite fine. As our 4th starter officially, he's been more of like our 3 starter for most of the year. And a guy who wants a pretty reasonable extension. I would totally bring him back for that price. He's been really reliable throughout the save. He's fragile for some reason. But yeah, since we got him, he's been above league average as a pitcher, about 2.5 WAR a year. Like, this is a guy I'd pay, $12 million to for 3 years. Absolutely. And then Bradley Blaylock, he's shown me some stuff. Had a nice little run of games. I don't know how many of those were starts. Again, just kind of coming back. Yeah, so most of them were actually relief appearances, but he's been good. And then I think we had Hagen Smith maybe in the rotation for a little bit, sent him down to the minors. He was up in the rotation for most of the first half and sent him down. He's been back with the bullpen here. And then Carlos Rodriguez, he's been better this season than he was in 4 appearances last year. And then the rest of the bullpen. Alexis Diaz has been good. AJ Puck's been excellent. Uribe has fallen off a bit recently. A couple bad games here. Matt Brash has not been great since we picked him up. Looks like some of his ratings dropped. Pretty significantly. So he's definitely not the guy we thought we were getting. And pretty much fell off a cliff as soon as we traded for him. But, he still has a chance to be an okay pitcher for us. Edward Cabrera has had another really nice year. Overall, Scott Efros has been up for a bit. He's been good when he's been here. DL Hall. This is the other guy. Yeah. So he made 5 starts at the beginning of the year. Obviously, it was not good. Out of the bullpen, he's been marginally better, I guess. But, his time's kind of up as a starter, I think. And then Cade Smith, still waiting for him to turn it around. Hasn't quite done it yet. Still have faith that he can be okay. And then Streleski has had a really good year. He's kind of the guy with like the best track record of everyone that we've had. Career 3.04 ERA and 290 innings. Never really had a bad season. The FIPS have all looked really good. So this is a guy I was excited to get, and he's lived up to the hype. Andy Pajes has been out. Not like this is a huge loss. He's been quite bad for us all season, below replacement level according to WAR. He'll be back in a few days, though. So, we'll give him some run. Hopefully he can turn things around. He almost did. Just like looking at really roughly at OPS, like he brought it up to 723 and then has fallen off a little bit. Yeah, he's hovered around, the 700 mark for most of the year. It's just been a disappointing year for him. The BABIP stuff is pretty ridiculous. Like 229 BABIP for a full season is really low, even if he was never going to be a high BABIP guy. So yeah, he's been out. Aquino's still out. And then Luke Holman. Yes, this is the other guy. Again, I haven't recorded this in a couple weeks or a week or so. But yeah, he made 9 starts for us. Wasn't really good at all, but still wanted to give him a little bit of run down the stretch. But he went out 4 weeks, and that was just a few days ago. So yeah, actually just today. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. Yeah, obviously Peterson's been out for most of the year after making 8 really good starts in Double-A. Julian Ramirez has been in rookie ball. He might be able to pitch in A-ball right now. I'm not going to push him up there as a 17-year-old, but he's looking pretty good. Daniel Cabral, not a good season in rookie ball this year. Might just push him. I don't know if their season's over. I think it is. Yeah, their season's over. I might just throw him up to A-ball and see what he does for the next week or so, however long they have left in their season. He's 19 at this point. He'll be starting the year in A-ball anyway next year, so we'll give him a little bit of run. Magallanes. Damn it, I thought I had this pronounced, but now I forgot what I was saying this whole time. He's been excellent this year, and I'd love to get him into the rotation, but just don't really have a spot for him right now. But could be a guy who gets up. Viduri, same story with him. Has not pitched as well in AAA, but the peripherals still look good. So I think those guys are going to be in the rotation next year, most likely. Juan Gallardo had a rough year in rookie ball this season. He's freshly 19, so no need to rush him up to A-ball or anything. Danny Sargent made 2 appearances in A-ball after being okay in rookie ball. But he's 20, gave him a little bit of run, and he was really good in 2 starts. Tommy Vargas, down in rookie ball, didn't do much this year. Another guy I might just throw up. His birthday's in 2 days. I'm going to throw him up to A-ball for a couple days and see how he does, if they even have any season left. Bryce Rayner was a huge disappointment. He was one of the big pieces we got in the, I guess this was Jarren Duran, who we wound up signing as a minor league free agent. Didn't make the team out of spring training. Didn't have a good year for Seattle either. We also threw in Luke Adams in this deal, who crushed Double-A. And actually made it up to the majors, and yeah, wasn't actually too bad. He was pretty good. And this guy, Rocha, who knows if he'll work out. And we got $5 million in that deal. But yeah, he's a top 200 guy still. Sam Zaher, 4th-round pick just last season. Didn't make it out of rookie ball this year. Still only 18. Josh Noth, a guy I wish we could have got in the rotation, but he went down with a partially torn UCL. A guy I really like for next season. David Aguilar, 1st-round pick last year. Made it up to Double-A this season. Played really well in High A, or pretty good in High A. Eric Becker was really good in High A, called him up to Double-A, was pretty good at that level as well. He'll likely start the next year in Triple-A. Quintero, we talked about him for a little bit earlier. Maverick Rizzi, another one of these arms that I like. And Anthony Gutierrez, a guy who's pretty far along. We got him in a trade with Houston. This was interesting. This was for, this guy we signed as a minor league free agent. Didn't think he was going to make the team. He actually wound up having a pretty nice year, about league average, according to WAR. Or I guess even a little bit better since he only played 113 games. We got him. We have him and Hedbert Perez, who was a guy I think might have been on the 40-man. No, he was just a quad A guy for me then. Also got Juan Chico in the steal, who was pretty good in rookie ball. But yeah, Gutierrez is far along. Really like him long term as a 4th or 5th outfielder. So yeah, that's the minor league update. Pages will be back in a few days, but let's go through this Detroit series. We're now tied with St. Louis after they lose 84-62. The Cubs 13 games back of us. We're in good position to make a wild card. 7 games up on the Braves, who are out just outside the wild card. Gavin Stone in this one. We lose 7-5. Quero has 3 RBIs. Cheerio 3 hits. But nothing, not enough offensively there. Gavin Stone, not a good start. Cade Smith gave up another run, man. That sucks. And AJ Puck, I also gave up another run. George Kirby looking to right the ship a little bit here as we head to the last part of the season as he hits free agency in just a few weeks. And Alexis Diaz goes down 2 to 3 weeks. Yikes. Pages is back. So we may as well just add him right to the roster. We have 15 hitters now, so that's perfect. And what do we want to do? Matthew Wood's been really, really good. I think I might put Pages in maybe every 3rd game. Have him back up the corners. I need Lara as defensive replacement in right field. Maybe Rojas. Rojas might be better just because he probably won't be used as much. That's good there. And then, yeah, we can definitely use Pages in right field here. Bring him up to 7th. He hasn't been very good this year, so it hasn't really earned any benefit of the doubt. We can use Rojas as a backup here as well. Okay. Good enough. Garrett Crochet on the mound, 7-3 victory. Crochet didn't give us much length. I have him on an 80-pitch limit, so I really can't blame him there. He pitched well enough, though. And Carlos Rodriguez kind of been balling out in his 4 appearances this year. Carlos Correa, a really nice game. The middle of our order was excellent, 4 through 7. Wilkin, Quero, Mitchell, and Correa all multi-hit games. Soto had a couple RBIs. Looks like a home run in the 8th. Yeah, I kind of glossed over how good he's been, but yeah, he's been great. Now we are playing Chicago, the Cubs, division rivals. They're 14 games back of us. We are now 1 game up on the Cardinals after that series win. Tanner Bybee on the mound against Andrew Nardi. Converted reliever into a starter in 7-6 victory. We get 1 in the top of the 9th. Roderick Arias run scoring single. Love to see it. He had a really, really nice game. Had a home run as well. Top of our order played well. Correa was really good again. And Tanner Bybee, not a great start, but the bullpen gets the job done as Uribe picks up the save, his 5th on the year. Now Bradley Blaylock coming back into the rotation here. After making 16 starts throughout the year, 33 total appearances against Ben Brown, who's had a nice season. 3.93 ERA, and we win 7-3. So we win the first 2 games of the set. Jackson Churio, a pinch hit, 2 RBIs, and Matthew Wood, a grand slam in the 9th. Wow, to take the game. Holy crap, Matthew Wood, man. What a year for him. He's really emerged as the best backup catcher in baseball. Quero had a nice game as well, 3 hits. Royce Lewis drove in a run. Yeah, great game. Bradley Blaylock, good enough, man. Like 4 2/3, 4 runs, get it to the bullpen. Efros and Puck were both good. And we're able to pick up the win. So now we'll face Luke Little, Gavin Stone, looking to win the series here and go up multiple games. And we do. 4-3 victory. We get 2 runs in the top of the 9th. Roderick Arias, another solo homer. And Brock Wilkin, a sac fly. And they almost mounted a comeback, it looks like. A couple base runners against Puck and Uribe. But we're able to close it out. Gavin Stone, a really nice start. Not spectacular, but really, really good. Arias, a good game. Garcia played really well as well. Yeah, that's all we needed offensively, I guess. So let's go. We're going for the 4-game sweep on the Cubs. Just bury them in the standings here and maybe eliminate them in a few games. So Cabral doesn't even want to play, and I guess their season's over in A-ball. George Kirby on the mound, we talked about earlier. He's going to be a free agent in just like a month or so. So hopefully he plays well. He can get the bag. And he does. He's 4-game sweep the Cubs. George Kirby, an excellent start, which is what we need out of our ace. And DL Hall, a 5-out save. Juan Soto, good game. Yelich as a DH picked up an RBI. As a first baseman, picked up an RBI. Garrett Mitchell drove in 2 runs, didn't get a hit. Love to see it. Rojas came in once again. Okay, so a 4-game sweep of the Cubs. That's huge. We were 3 games up, clinched the playoffs with that win. And now we'll face the lowly Pirates. And we have 2 series left? 3 series left. So 9 games to play. Up 3 in the division. I don't know. Have we won the division yet in this series? No, we haven't. We have yet to win the division. We've made the playoffs a handful of times, but we've made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years so far. We're trying to make it 5 out of 6. That didn't make any sense. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Garrett Crochet, Eric Fetty. Game 1 of this Pittsburgh set. We lose 5-4. Yikes. Against the Pirates. Not great. Crochet wasn't bad. Strzelski, he was having a good year. I can't be too mad at him, but tough game for him. So we lose game 1. Herman Marquez, the corpse of him, I assume. Yeah, wow. He's still hanging around. Against Tanner Bybee here in game 2, a must win. We're still 3 games up, not the end of the world if we lose, but a must win in the sake of you want to beat the Pirates here, especially because we face St. Louis next series and then finish with Toronto. I don't know what their story is necessarily. The lowly Toronto Blue Jays at the end, but none of these wins are guaranteed, obviously. So we need to take 1. Let's take 1 out of 3 against Pittsburgh, and I'll be happy. And we lose 5-7. Oh boy, Tanner Bybee gives up 4 runs. Not a great start for him, as he's going to be a free agent in about a month. And Hagen Smith, a really bad performance in this one, kind of loses the game. So Bradley Blaylock against Jack Caglione. Is he a 2-way guy in this series? He is, yes. Okay, we talked about him last time, I think. Yeah, as being a legit 2-way guy. I wouldn't use him as a starter personally, but they're going to use him as a starter. He's been okay. But yeah, game 3 looking to salvage the series here. 2 games up on St. Louis. And we win 10-4, thankfully. Looks like we ran it up at the end after being down going into the 8th. Or being tied going into the 8th. Jackson Cherry, a huge game. 5 RBIs on 2 hits. Royce Lewis, 4 hits, 2 RBIs. Luis Lara had a couple hits. Arias had 2 walks, 3 Ks. And Blaylock, a really good start, all things considered. Then Cabrera and Rodriguez do a good job out of the bullpen. So it's a huge win. And now we face St. Louis for 3, which could determine our position here going into the playoffs. We'd love to take we'd love to take 2 out of 3. We'd love to sweep. I don't know who's saying. Give me 2 out of 3. I would love 2 out of 3. Feel good going into the last series. Don't need to blow our bullpen or anything or blow our starters. So that's a bad start. Oh boy. So Quero looks like he hit a double play to end it. Looks like 2 runs in the top of the 8th. Oh, Gavin Stone was so good. Man, really good start from him, man. It's just tough luck. Can only get 2 runs on Andy Pajes, a home run in the second. Nothing else going. So Mackenzie Gore, the guy we let go this offseason, had a really, really good year in St. Louis. We'll have to face him here against George Kirby, the guy we kind of kept instead of him. Not really, but kind of. And we win 7-3, huge win to not put so much pressure on Game 3 here. Pa has a massive game. A couple good ones in a row for him. Churio, nice game as well, a couple hits. George Kirby, his third really good start in a row. Love to see it. Strzelski, not good once again, but we're able to hold on, pick up the win, got to Gore. And looking for the series win here, Emmett Sheehan up against Garrett Crochet. He's been okay the last two starts. See if we can get a little bit more out of him here. And a 9-6 victory. 4 runs. They got 4 runs in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th. It was a blowout before then, so I assume we didn't use any great arms. Crochet, man, there we go. That's what we needed. 6 innings, no runs on 80 pitches. DL Hall, not good out of the pen. And Cade Smith, man, continues to suck. Not even struggle, just suck. I still have faith he can be okay, but, man, it's getting hard to be a Cade Smith defender right now. Royce Lewis, 4 RBIs. Great game for him. Brad Wilkin drove in a pair. Quero drove in 2 as well. And those were the big mashers. Correa also drove in a run. Royce Lewis had the homer, 2 homers. Quero and Wilkin also homered. Okay, so huge series win against St. Louis there. We go up 3 games. We need 1 to clinch. And our standings in the NL, we're looking good for a first-round bye. I think we can clinch a first-round bye if we win the division, which would be big, obviously. So, Game 1, Tanner Bybee. We'd love to win this one. Win one of the next 2, so we don't have to use Gavin Stone in Game 3 of this set. So, Tanner Bybee, Game 1. Or hope St. Louis loses. If they lose 2, that works. Okay, so we clinch the division. 8-5 victory. Hagen Smith loses a little something. Matt Brash, we already discussed his fall off. Levi Sterling, guy I always kind of had a little bit of faith in. He's developing a bit. Dave Krause, our first round pick this year. Pushed him up to high 8th end of the season after I realized he was in rookie ball for 40 games. He was great at that level. So excited for Dave Krause. 29th overall pick this season. This guy looks good. Casado, Luis Trujillo, Chris Colchin, 4th round pick this year. Still really young. Arturo Bravo. Okay, so we clinched the division. That puts, obviously, no pressure on these last few games. And we can... I'll probably still start Blaylock just because he's not going to get a postseason start, most likely anyway. So may as well blow him here. But I would like to use Carlos Rodriguez in Game 2. Make sure they don't pitch Gavin Stone. She's going to do this. Okay, that'll work. So Blaylock, Rodriguez. Okay, let's get through these last 2 games. We win 8-1. Churio Soto drove in 5 runs total between them. Blaylock, great start, man. Great end to the season for him. He was pretty clutch down the stretch as a starter. And Edward Cabrera, low-key, sick season. Home runs, we had Soto. That was it. Churio, obviously drove in the 2 runs. Good game. And last game of the season, Carlos Rodriguez making his first career start. And we win 3-1. So, wound up sweeping the Blue Jays to end the season. And, great year. Not much going offensively, but Carlos Rodriguez, man. Whew. Really, really good start to finish the year. Maybe earned himself a bullpen spot. Come postseason, we'll see how that kind of all shakes up. And AJ Puck, man, just the end to one of the best seasons I've ever seen as a reliever. 36 FIP minus, gave up like 1 home run all season. was that, .2? Maybe 2 home runs all season. Strikeout to walk stuff is sick. Just an insane year for him. Yeah, so that's the end of the regular season. We will sim up to the first round of the playoffs. We'll have Alexis Diaz back, which is excellent. And it looks like he is indeed back. I should sign my staff back now that I remember to do that. I think all my staff I like. This guy left. Sign all these guys. 2028. Everyone looks good. This guy didn't get extended. I like him. That's the last one. Yeah, that's good. Major League staff, Randy Powers is our pitching coach. And theoretically, he should be really good. We haven't had a bad pitching staff. Yeah, I think he deserves at least a little bit of an extension. 3 years is good. That's a fine extension. Hitting coach Scott Smith, he's done a good job with this offense, getting some production out of guys you wouldn't necessarily expect. So I'll extend him, and then I'm up for extension this offseason, so we'll see how that goes. I think we're pretty safe, but man, what is the end of the season for Royce Lewis? 14 for 25. George Kirby had 3 great starts. Talked about that. Crochet was really good. Probably worked himself back into like the playoff rotation talks. Yeah. Alexis Diaz back. That's great. We'll add him to the postseason roster when that comes around. Just gonna wait. Oh boy. Abner Uribe. No, dude. No. Oh my God. That sucks. God, he was just like coming on as like a true elite reliever. And this torn labrum is brutal. Because that's like a career ender. God, that sucks. Not career ender, but, career alterer. So we'll face Atlanta. We'll be without Uribe, unfortunately, and probably for most of next year. Yeah, I'll set the playoff roster, do all that stuff, and we'll come back for this series. All right, we are back. It is playoff time. The roster, not too surprising. We do have Roderick Arias starting at third, mostly due to defense. And I liked what he did with the bat in a handful of games down the stretch. So he has good speed, really good defense. A guy I think can be really good, at least defensively, over at third base, even though he wasn't great this year. Eduardo Garcia makes the postseason roster. I just don't really trust his bat to play up, I guess. He had 8 home runs, but those were like in the first 7 of them were like the first 8 games. Didn't do much after that. He'll be on the roster, but more as a reserve role guy, pinch hitter. We are carrying 13 hitters. I usually like to carry more, but I wanted a lot of pitchers since Crochet and Bybee aren't exactly guys that I trust at the moment. The rest of the lineup is as expected. Garrett Mitchell will be playing against lefties in center field. He didn't do a lot of that this season, but I think he's better than Lara. And, we'll have to face Max Fried and Colby Allard in the series, so there will be plenty of lefty opportunities. And I know it was a smaller sample size, but he did hit well against lefties this year. So that's that. The lineups, as you can see there. And then the rotation will be Kirby, Stone. Kirby, I really liked how he pitched down the stretch, so I'm going to give him the ball in game 1. Stone will get the ball in game 2. I think Crochet I trust a little bit more than Bybee at this point, just because of how he pitched in the last 3 games. Bybee, he was okay, but he wasn't great. He'll pitch game 4. It doesn't really matter too much. These guys will pitch once this series. And then Alexis Diaz is back, so he's our closer. AJ Puck, I have him in a stopper role. He was just so good this year. I want him to go multi-inning, so he'll be a stopper. Strzelski will be our 7th inning setup guy. I don't know where they'll exactly pitch him. But then our other kind of high leverage guys are going to be Edward Cabrera and Scott Efros. Efros was really good in 9 games, and I like his profile as a control guy compared to a lot of these guys who were strikeout guys. DL Hall does make this team. mostly because we wanted another lefty in here, but he didn't do much to inspire confidence. I think his BABIP was a little inflated. God, I'm praying him and Cade Smith don't blow up in my face because they're both on this roster. They both had bad years, but I trust the talent. I'm going to go for it. And then Carlos Rodriguez, Bradley Blaylock will be our long guys, mostly for these 2 games. I don't know how deep these guys will get into the game. So that's how the postseason is set up. We will face the Atlanta Braves, who finished 85-77, slipped into the 3rd wild card, just ahead of the Dodgers, it looks like. Their offense led by Michael Harris, who just had a ridiculous season. My goodness. I didn't think he had that in the bag. I guess he put up that season a couple of years ago too. So Michael Harris, total superstar. Ronald Acuna, an insane year in his own right. So those 2 are really spearheading the offense. Austin Riley's a good enough player, I guess. Ozzy Albies is fine. He's back with Atlanta after being away last year in Kansas City. Rosarena's our leadoff guy. He's okay. Matt Olson's fine as their first baseman. So it looks like their offense is very top-heavy with these 2 guys. We can get around those guys, pitch to the rest of the offense. It's not like anyone's really going to be a world beater out there. Logan O'Hoppe is a pretty good player, but it's a lot of league average hitters in Michael Harrison, Ronald Acuna. And then their rotation, 10th in starters ERA, 4th in bullpen ERA. Max Fried's still a good pitcher, but coming off an okay season, not the best. Herson Waldrop, he'll start game 1 for them. A guy who walks a ton of batters, doesn't give up a ton of home runs though. Really solid number 2. Garrett Whitlock, a guy I really like, and a guy who I think I've tried to sign a few times or trade for a few times in the series. Just super consistent. But yeah, he's a good number 4 start. And then Kobe Allard had a nice year as their 4. So Spencer Strider's out of the bullpen. Looks like he's hurt. Didn't have a good season. Really hasn't had a good year in a while since 2024. Then he's been hurt a bunch, it looks like, and now pitching out of the bullpen for them. Joe Ryan, he's been pitching out of the bullpen as well for them. Just an embarrassment of riches. These guys would be starting in my rotation, I'll tell you that. Bryce Elder, a really good arm. He started for most of the year for them. So yeah, Atlanta's going to be a tough team, but I think if we avoid Harris and Acuna, then we get around those guys, this is a beatable team for sure. And, we won 96 games, so we're obviously the favorites, the betting favorites in this series. So let's do it. George Kirby, Herson Waldrop, game 1 of the NLDS. A 10-0 victory out of the rip, firing on all cylinders. Jackson Chourio, a game for the ages. 4 hits, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Brock Wilken, a great game in his own right. Correa drove in a run. Really good day for the offense. George Kirby, just a masterful performance. Just what we needed from him. And Carlos Rodriguez, good out of the pen as well in garbage time. So huge win in game 1. Who the hell started that? It was Kyle Wright. It was Kyle Wright to Bryce Elder. Jeez, okay. I didn't realize I thought they were going with Waldrop, but I guess he'll start game 2 here on full rest. So Gavin Stone, Herson Waldrop, game 2. Going to take a 2-0 series lead. We lose 10-4. You're going to have to play through it, buddy. Sorry. Chourio left the game, but Lara played really well in his place. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Soto had a good game with the bat, but Gavin Stone a bad start. Efros and Hall, the game was probably already out of reach at that point, but they blow it open even more. So now we're tied going to Atlanta. And Patrick Aquino is finally back. He'll go to AAA. Okay. So we have an off day, and we'll go to Atlanta for 3-2, and then back to Milwaukee if necessary for Game 5. So Garrett Crochet against Max Fried, a couple of lefties. Had so-so seasons, and we'll hope we can come out on top, take the lead in the series. We win 4-2, big game, and Crochet shows up when we need him for the most. and AJ Puck a 3-inning save, only threw 29 pitches. And we win 4-2. Not much really to talk about offensively. A home run by Garrett Mitchell, double by Brock Wilken. Didn't even, I guess they drove in a run. Soto had a couple of hits, but not much offensively, but the pitching gets it done. So Garrett Whitlock will start Game 4 for them. We'll have Tanner Bybee. I don't think George Kirby's good to go. Nope. So we'll have Whitlock against Bybee. Game 4, looking to advance to the NLCS for the first time in the series, I believe, and escape the first round. Jesus. Okay, well, it only counts as one loss. And I guess the theory about avoiding those two hasn't really come to fruition. I guess they've been their best hitters, but Austin Riley and Matt Olson just annihilated us this game. Bybee, a horrible start, and geez, the bullpen's not even worth talking about. What a horrible performance all around pitching-wise. We have an off day. Back to Milwaukee for Game 5, and George Kirby, Hurston Waldrop for Atlanta. At least, yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, okay. Big game. Both pitched really well in their first start. And do or die. Let's do it. Game 5. We win 7-3 and escape with the series win. Carlos Correa, 3 RBIs in this one. Looks like Brock Wilken had a home run as well. Just looking at the raw numbers here, doesn't look like any hitter was particularly great for us this series. Soto was good. Brock Wilken, probably the series MVP, though. I don't know if they even have that. Oh, no. Yeah, George Kirby, duh. Yeah, he had 2 insanely good starts to throw the team on his back, both in Game 1 and in Game 5 there. AJ Puck picks up the save. Wasn't necessarily great, but we already had a big lead at that point. So big series win. We advanced to the NLCS for the first time in this series. International free agency started. I'm going to go scout those guys. We'll come back for this set. All right, so we got those guys scouted. Going to go with a more quantity over quality approach. There was really no must-have guy out here. That guy obviously has big upside, but has the K issues, low work ethic. Don't like him. This is the only guy I really liked, Elder Frescahilo. Maybe I'll get him, but not a must-miss guy. So I went with a lot of different cheaper options. Maybe we can grab one of these dudes and then get a bunch of smaller guys. But a lot of these cheaper players I like too. So we'll see how we play that out. But we'll have to reset our rotation. So we had one off day. So Kirby should be good for Game 3. Crochet will throw in Game 2. Bybee, I guess, reluctantly will throw in Game 4 there, but jeez, he was so bad. God, I guess we'll just go with him. All right, Game 1, we will face the St. Louis Cardinals, who we are very familiar with. We wound up taking 2 of 3 against them at the end of the season. So they obviously have Jordan Walker, one of the best players in the league. Probably, I don't know if he's going to win NL MVP, but he very well could, or one of the Braves guys. So we're facing some of the best in the league here. Mason Wynn, really good player as well. Their offense not overly impressive though. Nolan Arenado's actually had a pretty fine year. Besides that, Victor Scott's a good defensive player. Tommy Edmonds, okay. Nolan Gorman can hit some home runs, but this offense isn't terribly impressive outside of Jordan Walker. But their rotation really good. Mackenzie Gore, we roughed him up at the end of the year, but he had a really nice season overall, and finished the year strong with 3 really good starts. 2 of those being against Washington in the playoffs. Emmett Sheehan, really nice season as their number 2. Christopher Sanchez, a solid number 3 or 4 starter, and Steven Matz, not a good year for him, but the peripherals look pretty good if you don't look at the actual outcome numbers. And their bullpen, 4th in ERA, so a good bullpen. Sam Hentges is their number 1 guy. Nick Robertson, who we had for a cup of coffee, sent him back to St. Louis in 27. Had a rough year, but had a rough year in 27, but a good year this season. So yeah, Gavin Stone will start Game 1 for us, looking to bounce back after a pretty shaky start in Game 2 of last series. Let's do it. Emmett Sheehan against Gavin Stone. We win 6-1. AJ Puck is hurt. Sore shoulder. That's not good. Especially because his throwing effect is moderate, so I don't even know if he's going to be able to go. Nice day by Chourio with 2-run homer in the 7th. Put up 3 in the bottom of the 7th to push the game open. Gavin Stone, a great bounce-back start. And then Strzelski, pretty good out of the bullpen. So we take game 1, 6-1. Puck should be back full strength later in the series. Not too worried about that. I'm just scared if they throw him in there and he sucks because he's hurt. But anyway, game 2, we'll have Crochet against Christopher Sanchez, a couple of lefties. And we win 2-0, go up 2-0 in the series. Not much offensively, but Jefferson Quero, 3 hits, drove in a run. Roderick Arias had a home run in this one. That's awesome to see from our young third baseman. Garrett Crochet, another excellent start. It's 2 in a row for him here in the playoffs, and a really good string of starts overall. AJ Puck, they wound up throwing him, and he looks like he made it out okay. He also is dealing with another injury now, a strained oblique. So a shoulder and oblique, moderate and minimal on his throwing. Not good, but they're still pitching him, so whatever. He's a free agent after the year, so not to say I don't care about him, but if he gets hurt at this point, it's not my problem. Oh my God, an abdominal strain for Alexis Diaz. God. We are working on the scraps of this bullpen right now. Mackenzie Gore here against George Kirby. The matchup I really wanted to see in this series, and it lines up for game 3. And a big one for St. Louis, and a big one for us to go up 3-0. That'd be huge, especially taking one in St. Louis to go up 3-0. So yeah, George Kirby, Mackenzie Gore, a former player against obviously a current player. A couple aces on the mound, game 3. We win it 2-0, 2-1. In a true pitcher's duel, Mackenzie Gore, a great start. Unfortunate loser. George Kirby, even better start than Gore. And the bullpen, man, comes together, able to finish it out. Strzelski, Hall, and Diaz. George Kirby, man, can't talk about how good he's been enough. Just throwing the team on his back, man. This is awesome to see. Jackson Chourio, 4 hits in this one. Didn't drive in any runs. Only scored 1 himself. Soto drove in 2. He had a third inning 2-run home run with Chourio on, I suppose. So yeah, Chourio did play a big part in that game. So we go up 3-0. Huge, especially with Tanner Bybee on the mound here, whose faith is dwindled after giving up 4 home runs in a 15-0 blowout loss against Atlanta. I also just realized we probably got ridiculously outscored that series. I guess we won the first game 10-0. Yeah, so a couple really bad blowouts for us though. The 10-4 loss and the 15-0 loss. Okay. Anyway, back on track. Steven Matz, who had a bad year for St. Louis. I won't slander Steven Matz, and he gets it enough in real life. But had a bad year. I guess Tanner Bybee, who had a fine enough year, I guess we'll say. Anyway, looking to go to the World Series here in Game 4. And we sweep the St. Louis Cardinals, division rival, and we head to the World Series in a 4-game sweep. Alexis Diaz is out for a week. Thank goodness. Oh my God, AJ Puck, this poor freaking guy. Oh geez, why'd they pitch him in that game? I guess this is about as close as it gets. We win in the 10th. We score 2 runs on the top of the 9th. Roderick Arias, 2-run home run. Dude, let's freaking go. That's so cool to see. And then Carlos Correa, solo homer in the top of the 10th. Off this Matt Foster character. My mouth is so dry right now. But Tanner Bybee, not a good start once again, but he had 4 home runs again, dude. Come on. What the hell? Dude, just throwing batting practice. Somehow only gave up 5 runs, though, so I'm pretty impressed by that. And he gave up 8 hits, so, good on you to survive that one, dude. They wound up throwing AJ Puck, gives a run in 2 innings. Alexis Diaz closes it out though. I hope AJ Puck is okay because he's day to day, dude. They're gonna pitch him through it again. Okay, so he has a strained oblique. Okay, the strained back isn't nearly as bad. Really, the shoulder was the brutal part. Pitching him through a sore shoulder is just, this sounds like torture. Luke Holman's back. He's obviously not going to be on this team. So I hope to have Diaz back for game one. I think we should be good, depending on how long their series goes. Okay, there we go. We will have Diaz back for game one. Puck about a week with this strained back. He should be okay. There we go. We can reset our rotation. Oh man, I don't even know what to do with that starter spot. I think I'm gonna give it to Bradley Blaylock. I can't do the Tanner Bybee thing right now. Or maybe, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just do the follower thing. And we'll have maybe get Cade Smith open. I think that's actually a nice role for him. Maybe they'll have DL Hallstar. I'll put both of these guys in here. See who my manager wants to use. But yeah, we're able to set up nicely against Detroit. They'll have Tariq Skubal, one of the best arms in baseball. Coming off an okay year. Not the best. So you should look at the rest of their team. He's not the only player. Ty Madden, a really, really nice number 2 starter. Reese Olson had a nice year as well. So their rotation, really solid. Christian Mena, not quite as good. But still has some tools. He can definitely shut us down for a start. Yeah, so 8th in runs scored, 8th in runs against. 85 and 77, division winner in the weak AL Central. Colt Keith, superstar, first baseman. Roman Anthony's a really nice player as well. But outside of that, this offense, not too much going. Alex Ramirez is fine as a center fielder, I guess. Nick is a fine first baseman, but nothing crazy. They have Noah Miller, former player of ours, put up 1.2 WAR with a dreadful bat. That tracks. Okay, so big game one here. I'd love to go up and pick up a win against Skubal here. We'll have to face him twice this series. I don't think I want to do anything with this lineup. It's gotten the job done for sure. I mean, maybe you could argue Correa goes in front of Mitchell, but I'm under the pretense that if a guy's hitting really well in a spot in the order, you don't move him. And this is a very long tangent, but the Yankees in the playoffs, Giancarlo was hitting out of his mind in the 5-hole. That is my favorite player. He's been my favorite player for years, so I know I'm a little bit biased, but he was crushing in the 5-hole. And then they just moved him up to the 4-hole for a couple games, and I don't think he was very good in those games from what I remember. Maybe he had a home run, but overall he wasn't as impactful as he was in the 5-hole. And then they moved him back to the 5-hole, winds up having a couple of really good games when they moved Jazz in the cleanup spot. But yeah, I'm still butthurt about the playoffs, obviously. But anyway, there's the tangent. Game one, Tariq Skubal, George Kirby. And 6-5 win, man. That's a big one to pick up. Made a huge comeback. We were down 3-0 going to the bottom of the 8th, put up 5 runs, give it right back to him, but then win it in the 9th. Jackson Churio, solo homer, walk-off. Weird way to put that, but man, great win to pick up. Quero had a good game as well. Correa continues to be hot. AJ Puck, they throw him again, and he's not good once again. I should probably move him out of that stopper role so they don't keep using him. I guess they're using him where they should, though. Alexis Diaz, not good in this series, or in this game. But George Kirby, the dude's just been insane. Not really much else to say about that. So we pick up a huge game one. Game two, we'll have Gavin Stone against Ty Madden. A couple of really quality number 2 starters. We lose 13-8. Yikes. Go down big early. Looks like we clawed our way back, but just not enough at that point. TL Hall gets just lit up. Gavin Stone, a miserable start after a really good one. Carlos Rodriguez was good out of the pen, though. But yeah, Blaylock was okay, for sure. Definitely ate some innings, valuable innings for us. Okay, so we'll go to Detroit, 4-3, series tied, 1 apiece. Crochet against Olsen. And we lose 8-7. It's a walk-off of TL Hall. God, I kind of saw this coming. I gave him the benefit of the doubt coming into the postseason. Let's see what you got. And he was good for the first couple appearances. He was good in the St. Louis series for 3 outs. But, yeah, he winds up giving up the run. It's not the end of the world. I can't blame it all on him. AJ Puck continues to struggle with the injury. And Crochet, he didn't give us much length. Only 3 2/3 on 83 pitches. Soto, good game, drove in 2. Matthew Wood had 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Quero, Soto, and Wood all homered in this one. So we're down 2-1. I really don't want to go down 3-1. This is a big one. Tanner Bybee, unfortunately, on the mound here. He'll be a follower. We'll see how this goes. Maybe he can figure things out and not give up 4 home runs. And we lose 4-2. God, Max Kepler. Oh, Bybee was really good, too. Why'd they keep him in so long? That sucks. He winds up giving up the 3-run home run in the 8th. I mean, why? What are you doing? You're playing with house money. Tanner Bybee gave you 5 shutout innings in relief as the follower, and oh my God, that pisses me off. I would have never played it like that. At least I don't think I would have. That sucks. So we go down 3-1. Now Tariq Skubal on the mound, a chance to close us out in Detroit. George Kirby will oppose him, looking to keep our season alive, as he has in his 4 starts in the postseason at this point. Yeah, his 4 starts. Huge one here, obviously. Let's do it in Detroit. Kirby, Skubal. We stay alive, 9-4 victory. The offense coming through big when we needed them the most. Kirby, his worst start of the postseason was still pretty good. It kept us in it, obviously. And Edward Cabrera got out of the pen as well. Wilkin drives in 3. Lewis drove in 2. Those guys came alive. They've been really quiet this series. Garrett Mitchell drove in a couple runs. He's been insanely quiet. Pages has been non-existent. Haven't even noticed him in these box scores at all. And even though Arias has sucked, whatever. He's been the hero. Still like him. Okay, so we have to win these next 2, obviously. We're down 3-2 in the series. We'll have Gavin Stone, Garrett Crochet. Stone, he's been kind of every other start here. He's only made 3 starts, so I guess you can't really say that. But we're hoping he's more of his game 2 against St. Louis and not game 2 against Detroit. And then, we'll see what happens here. Got to win these next 2. At home in Milwaukee, Ty Madden, Gavin Stone, Game 6. We win 9-5, and we'll go to Game 7. Huge day for the offense, getting us up big early. Juan Soto, big game. A grand slam in the 4th. Brock Wilkin had a 2-run home run in the 3rd. Just massive. Gavin Stone, not the best start, but kept us in it. Efros and Shirleski able to get us through the rest of the game. So there we go. Game 7. I like to do this in Game 7. I don't know if they're going to use these guys, but all hands on deck. I'd rather not have Tanner Bybee pitch, but I don't think they're going to use any of those guys, but okay. So Garrett Crochet, Reese Olson, Game 7, World Series, 2028. Looking to I don't know how many championships they have in their career. In Brewers, they have never won a World Series. Okay. That's kind of what I thought. So Milwaukee looking to pick up their first World Series in their team history against Detroit, who have they ever won? Oops. I'd love to play this, but it's going to take forever. I'm sure Detroit's won at some point, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. They have a few. First since 1984, this would be for them. So everything at stake here. Game 7. Crochet, Olsen. And we win. Oh, my God. Come all the way back from being down 3-1. Oh, my goodness. We win in 11 at home. That means someone had a walk-off. Please be Roger Garius. That'd be so funny. Jefferson Quero. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Now, oh, my God. Game tire in the bottom of the 9th by Correa. Unfreaking real, dude. Crochet, good enough, dude. AJ Puck finally comes through. Not completely devastated by injuries. Threw 42 pitches to get through 2 innings. Strzelski really solid enough, I guess. And DL Hall, but oh my God, Alexis Diaz. 3 innings, no hits, no walks, no base runners. Just unreal. Jefferson Quero, 4 hits, 3 RBIs. Carlos Correa obviously had the home run in the 9th. So, I mean, that's just insane. And they did not list a World Series MVP. Unreal, dude. Unfreaking real. I'm just basking in this because I did not think we had any chance. I mean, we almost lost the freaking division series after going down. And then, I mean, Garrett Crochet coming through big, man. A really nice start. And then the bullpen gets it done. The offense, really surprising by a lot of guys. You know, we had some moments from Arias. Matthew Wood had a couple big games. Correa was a huge piece of this playoff run. I would give him like playoff MVP. It seems like he had a ton of huge moments. Hero finally came through at the end, but like the Detroit series was great for him. But before that, he was like a non-factor. Royce Lewis is a non-factor. I'm not going to talk about that. Juan Soto, obviously, excellent. Churio, excellent. You could really give it to any of Churio, Soto, or Correa, I'd say. But, I mean, World Series MVP, it might actually go to Quero. A solo homer in the bottom of the 11th. Just insane. God. So fun. So fun. I want to see who the MVP was of that series. Oh, that's great. That's great to see. Love seeing the screen pop up. Juan Soto played all 162 for the second straight year. Oh, my goodness. What a team. What a team. Jefferson Quero, 5.1 WAR. Dude, I didn't realize he was that good. Whew, now he wants the pack. He might get it. He very well could get it. He's still got a couple of years till free agency, so no rush. But, yeah, man, this is a sick team. Sean Roby, look at him contributing down there. Negative 0.5 WAR in 8 games. You got the ring. Juan Baez, dude, we traded. Rojas wound up playing a role as a backup player. And Brian Wu got his ring. Pitched super well for Baltimore when we traded him. In the Crochet trade, of course. Yeah, so great team, great season. Yeah, that's just awesome. Just awesome. Okay. I'll make sure that doesn't happen. AL gets rid of designated hitters. And yeah, I'll go through all this next episode. Obviously, we're going to make a decision on Yelich's extension or his deal. His team option, I can't even talk. I'm running on fumes. So they just didn't name. Okay, so it has to be one of 3 guys. I'm guessing it was Quero. And it was. Okay, so Jefferson Quero wins World Series MVP. Obviously, a walk-off homer will do that to you, but also had an incredible series. Really coming back from the dead. Yeah, because like going into the Detroit series, he was a 602 OPS guy. Like he was fine. Once you get to the playoffs, things get a little bit more. It gets a little tougher. So like a 602 OPS isn't the end of the world. But then he just drove in. How many runs is that? 4, 8, 10, 13 runs in 7 games. Had 4 home runs, 4 doubles, bunch of hits, hit in every game, bunch of multi-hit games. Great series. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching this episode. So happy we're able to get over the hump in this one and win the World Series in 2028. And we'll be back in 2029 looking to repeat. I think we're gonna miss a lot of guys, but hopefully we can internally improve and maybe make one run at maybe one good player, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.